I would like to welcome all of you to this episode of Straight Talk, and I'm pleased to introduce to you a special guest, someone who is always on her game and ready to embrace whatever the day may bring. I would hazard a guess that my guest today does not need caffeine due to her natural spunkiness. I would like to introduce Jill Frey, the president and CEO at Cummins Facility Services. Jill, how you doing?
Hi, Jeff. So good to see you. Thank you so much for hosting me on a Monday morning. Woo!
Oh, it is Monday morning. Only good things happen on Mondays.
Right. We had the whole weekend to prep for this, right?
We are already prepped. Glad to have you on the program. This isn't our first interview. Do you remember what we did last year at the show?
I forget.
ISSA Show North America. You were a judge, Innovation Award
Yes,
judge.
yes. Yeah, we had so much fun with that.
We did. And I got all the secrets about what that's like. So maybe one day they'll let me judge the awards. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but maybe one day.
It's a grand, grand gesture, let me tell you.
Yes. Well, let's get started, Jill. I know we want to get to know you and your company a little bit. So let's do this. Why don't you just talk about yourself a little bit, your company, little history there as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, my name is Jill Frey, and I am president and CEO of Cummins Facility Services. We are a 100% women-owned facilities management company. My father started the company in 1972, and we did business in one town. Today, we do business nationally, and we have 10 regional offices. We just celebrated our 50th anniversary last year, so that was very special. So I'm one of those second generation Ohio companies, right? How in the world, a little side tip, we used to have an office in Waldo, Ohio. So every convention I would go to, my name would say Jill Frey, Waldo, Ohio. Yeah, I got the question, where's Waldo? But it was great. But it's so wonderful that we were able to build our company and build it from Waldo, build it from Marion, build it from Columbus, right? We've had all these stepping stones. And so it makes me super proud of who we are. So we're a national facilities management company. We take care of buildings and we take care of our employees. I'm also chairwoman and co-founder of Facility Data Standard. Just a note, Facility Data Standard is an interface. We do not hold or store any data. We are strictly just an interface. But FDS works with global professionals to create standards to bring digitalization and standards to buildings. So buildings can talk, communicate, and let us know what's going inside of them and what's happening, right? Like how many people were in the building, what happened in the building, what the CO2 levels were, whose office was the busiest. That's always a good one. So FDS is fantastic. I'm so excited about that and the future that it has. And so that was a really fun idea that I get to watch grow up and bring transparency with it and all that good stuff. So those are some of my pride and joys, Jeff.
Very cool. Uh, I love your Where's Waldo story. That's fantastic. Where's Waldo? I am near Columbus, Ohio, but I live in Pataskala. So when that's on my name tag, people ask me where that is too, but not for the same reason they asked you the question. So good story. And thank you for
Yes.
talking about the Facility Data Standard Consortium. Very
Yes.
important project. That sounds really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And you do all this before lunch on Mondays. What do you do the rest of the week?
Well, I have two other companies, but we won't go into these.
Okay, we'll focus on just one company. We won't get into the others. I noticed as well, Jill, you publish articles. I was on LinkedIn. I saw lots of good stuff. Articles on embracing the unknown, building a thriving workplace, nurturing mental health. What's your passion for that? What's the driving force there?
COVID. So COVID brought out a lot of things, I think, for us, for our employees, and it really let me see a light that was shown on mental health and how hard it is to balance, right? And what mental health looks like for us, for our employees, for our families, spouses, children. Um, it's really important. It's super important. We're in this life for a long time. We got probably 100 plus years. We got to make them good. And so I think it's important to pause and not always be running super fast because you have to enjoy your life and enjoy your family, enjoy what you've created. And so I think you get to do that through mental health, right? You get to relax and understand that nobody's perfect. It can't be perfect. But we work really hard and we just want to make sure that we can touch the lives of the people that are important to us and we can take care of them.
Very nice. Yeah, I did notice many of your articles were on those topics, amongst others like business management and leadership, thought leadership topics. So good work on that. Yeah, I've been seeing those and paying attention. So I'll have to get you published in one of my magazines one of these days. Because you're
Thank you,
right.
Jeff. It would be an honor. Thank you.
People need the help. Let's talk about ISSA a little bit because you're a valued ISSA member. I'd love to hear how ISSA has impacted your success. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. So I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm still drinking the Kool-Aid. So I found out about ISSA about 15 years ago, and then I just went haywire with it. How do I get more involved? And so I actually tried to go to every global convention I could possibly find. And it was amazing. I was in Australia, Berlin, um, all over learning India, learning about the ways that other BSCs worked and other property management companies did things. And then I would bring that back to the US and try to implement that into my company. Um, I always thought that Europe was 3 years ahead of us. So how can I grab things that were happening in Europe and how can I bring them and implement them now? Um, so it was really wonderful. I met so many friends and I got to have mentors and I got to, be able to call people and say, hey, I saw this at the show. What do you think that meant? Or how is that working with other companies? And so it was really helpful. I would actually go to those shows and then come back to my company and I would have a whole day session on what I learned. And it would be a whole leadership executive team session about what went on at these conferences, what the latest tech was, what the machines were, what people were talking about. And it was great because I could bring those experiences home to my employees and to my team. And they really enjoyed that. And they could tell that, this wasn't something that I dreamed up, that it really was legit. It was out there. So we are SIM certified. We're celebrating our 10th year of SIM certification this year. We're actually getting recertified next month. And that has been so tremendously beneficial. With our 10 different regional offices, we have so many people out in the field. Sims really helps us be that standard, right? So we're doing the same thing at each office and we're able to incorporate all of that, so everyone gets the same amount of love. Our employees are like children, right? And so you got to make sure that you're treating them all the same. And you can't have your favorites and that's hard. So Sims helps you make sure that that happens.
I like that. Yeah, I've never heard someone describe Sims that way, but that makes sense, especially with the offices you have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Jill, building service contracting is what you guys do.
Correct.
They're on every corner of America.
Yeah.
So what makes you different? What makes you special? If you were to package it in a few words, what would that sound like?
So we walk the walk, we talk the talk, right? I was born in Ohio, born and grown, right? I'm raised with those Midwestern values. Um, I I call our clients, I have lunch with our clients. We have a 95% retention rate with them. Once they become a client of Cummins Facility Services, I don't give them up. I fight tooth and nail. So they will be a client. for my whole life. They're again like family. We have employees in their buildings that become part of their workforce, part of their family. And so they lean on us because they know that we will take care of them. We will protect their building. We will clean for health and make sure that their employees are taken care of as well. With all of that, we bring amazing technology. So they get this Midwest values technology synergy like rolled up in the Jill Fry energy, and they're just like, oh my gosh, what just happened? So that makes us unique. We're women owned. Not a lot of women in this industry. There's a lot of service hearts in our facilities with our company. They're out there to take care of their clients. And I love that. So there's a lot of things that make us unique. We've never had a merger. We've never had an acquisition. We've never bought another company. We haven't been bought. So we're old school, very old school. Um, I think that's good. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
We don't have stockholders, so I'm not trying to, get our profit at a certain level that, we're able to show our stockholders an ROI. It's me. And if it's my ROI is making sure that my clients are happy, that's a good ROI for me. Um, our frontline workers learn about technology. About 7 or 8 years ago, I taught them all what IoT meant. That's one of my favorite stories. And everyone says to me, "You tell your frontline workers what IoT means? They have no idea. Like they're cleaners." But that's how much I believe in them. That's how much I want them to strive for success and to be successful. I want them to know what's going on in the world. So that's what I think is unique. We put a lot of time, effort, money into our employees. We get the ROI off of that. Um, there's a lot of companies out there that have been bought and sold. We've never been through that. We're one of those old school Midwest Ohio companies.
Well, you say that, but that has a lot of meaning because people like to do business with those types of companies that are big enough to take care of anything, but have the personal touch, right? That's important.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's, we're not a 10,000 employee company, maybe half of that, but yet we're able to treat our clients like they're our only client. And that's what a lot of them say to me is, Jill, you treat me like I'm your only client. And I know that I'm not. And so I think that's powerful and I think that's meaningful. And again, that lets me sleep at night is that I've built this relationships with our clients, with our employees, and I pretty sure the boat's going to continue steering in the right direction.
My next question, I'm going to ask you to make one or two sentences as an answer, as a response. When you get up in the morning, what's your favorite part of the industry? I know it's a tough one.
The wonderful people in this industry. And there's so many opportunities to solve. Helping clients sleep well at night
Good.
and immediate gratification.
Okay, that's four sentences, but I like it. Or we'll do commas. We'll do commas.
Okay.
No, nicely said. Those are good reasons to enjoy the industry. There's so many others, but to keep it short, I like those. You've shared some strategies about your success. Obviously, your people, your employees. Are there any specific strategies you would share with another company to help them? Maybe not a direct competitor, someone in Michigan. No, not Michigan.
Texas,
Okay, Texas.
Hawaii.
Inside
It's
joke
all
about
about
Michigan,
your
right?
employee. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's all about our employees,
Hmm.
right? Everybody wants to have the best people and provide the best service. Everyone wants to do that. It's so hard. Um, we have employees that have been with us for 35 years, 20 years, 15 years. In my opinion, that's strategy. How do you promote And how are you able to keep those employees working for your company? I'm sure people know who Peter Drucker is, right? Very famous business strategist. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. Truly believe that. We work so hard to make sure that our people know how important they are to us. When they go through a bad time, we go through a bad time. When they go through a high, we go through a high. And it's that way that we just all move forward and we all make progress. We have a Cummins Cares, just it's a team devoted to our employees to make sure that they know we care about them. They might need a mental health day. They might need a day off. They might need a little pick me up here and there. It is truly is our strategy is how do we retain the best people and how do we perform the best services?
That sounds that sounds right. And I can tell that's a good strategy for you folks. And others want that as well. But no matter what, you always occasionally need another person. So my question is, how do you find that winning employee? Because you keep them, but people do retire.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got so many programs. We've got Rising Star program. We get employees. We work with the JVS school right here in Marion. Um, we have all kinds of programs where we're filtering and teaching and training people so well. Um, we offer so many benefits to them in terms of becoming their best self. How do they get a house? How do they get a loan? How do they have a bank account? Right? How do we make their families happy? What can we do on our Cummins campus, right, to promote them and make sure that they're happy. People have to be happy at work. They have to be. They spend so much time at work. They can't be berated or they can't be um, taken advantage of or taken for granted. They have to be appreciated. And our Cummins team does that. We have Cummins TV. We have all these things that train them to make sure that they are prepared for the job that they are doing. Um, so there's so many things that I'm proud of that we really work hard. And that's one thing when I'm talking to my controller, my vice president of finance, and I want to bring another person in for staffing, HR, Cummins Cares, right? That ROI is hard to see. But we need those people to make sure that we have the people we need to get our jobs done. Um, 10 to 15% of our employees are through a reference. And that helps tremendously because then they have a friend that's working at Cummins, right? And so they can share stories together. So there's a lot of things that we really try to do. We do a lot with text messaging and Facebook and, a lot of the social media outlets. We really try to not put pictures or praise people per se, but help them, help our employees so they can be prepared if weather or accidents or there was some kind of information that they need. We're always trying to be on the outlook for them to have their back to protect them.
Okay.
So that helps us a lot.
Yeah, I think all of that together will draw the right people because when someone's looking for a position, they're going to talk to their friends. I love the referrals you get because I've heard that's a great strategy to find people that maybe you would never have the opportunity to locate.
Exactly. We self-perform 95% of all of our work. And so we want to make sure that we've got those best employees in those facilities taking care of those special clients. Um, and a lot of the times it's the older employees, right? We have some young employees, but a lot of the times it's the older ones too that really value that everyday job. And they find value coming to work. And creating a safe and healthy atmosphere for workers. So there's a lot of things that that you can do out there. You've got to be creative though. And we have an amazing HR team, staffing team. I think we have like 10 people in our staffing department now, Jeff. It's crazy, but it's good. It's good
It works,
because
right?
you need
It
to hire
works.
people.
Finding good people, we're talking about that, and that's the number one issue with many companies. They just can't find them. In the industry, in the cleaning and restoration industry where I come from, I talk to people, business owners there, and they're like, we cannot get people. And it might be different compared to what your company is offering, the type of work, but it's still the challenge is real.
The challenge is definitely real, and we learned a lot. I mean, we've had to go through some learning growth, and again, it's that experience, right? It's that executive leadership team that's been with me for so long. They've got tricks up their sleeves, right? And it's finding those tricks, and it's how does it happen? And they always they always make it happen. It's amazing. We're starting up an account tomorrow, and we had to get 25 people in line to start up, and we actually hired 30. So we had some backup, but yeah,
Wow.
it's amazing.
That's a big lift to do, but it's working for you. Congratulations on that. I
Thank
was
you.
going to ask you about ISSA a little bit more, but I think you covered that nicely. But let me ask you this. If you were to talk to one of your peers about membership, what would you tell them?
It's the best investment they're ever going to make because they're going to invest in themselves. I told you I went to a whole bunch of global conferences with ISSA. Again, that was hard for my vice president of finance. Where's the ROI on this? You're going to Berlin, you're going to Australia, you're going to New Zealand. These sound wonderful, right? But I learned so much from those shows. Um, and I learned, I met people that taught me so much for those shows. So not only do you have to join, you have to get involved. And you have to remember when you go to those shows, you feel guilty, you really do. But you have to remember that you're doing this for the future of your company. You are putting resources and investment into your company and into you. And that's a big thing that I would talk about. I was just talking about ISSA the other day, and we still use the workloading tools from ISSA. Um, it's there's milestones with ISSA. There's different groups or different um, lectures and different tools to utilize at different sizes of companies, which I think is fantastic. It's so important. And of course, once you spend so much time in ISSA, you're surrounding yourselves with those larger companies that turn out to be your friends. Um, I've just gotten two large awards because of collaborations I've done with other friends in the industry. And I'm grateful for that. So they're not just your competitors. They make you be better. Competition always makes people be better, right? But they're your friends and they're going to help you succeed. There's not one company out there that can do all this work. And
Mhm.
all these towns are growing, 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 right? I mean, we need each other to get this work done. So it's good to know who your competitors are. I'm sure there's gonna be competitors that aren't kind. Um, but you just take that with a grain of salt.
Exactly.
So yeah, but ISSA, hands down, ISSA is the place to be, and it'll teach you a lot. I cannot say that my time with ISSA has not been productive. It's been wonderful. My whole team knows about it. They get on ISSA's website, they get on their um, webinars, right? They get on the education, they learn. I just got an ISSA email a couple days ago about the trucking company going out of business and I sent that to my leads, my leadership, and my executive team because we get paper products deliveries, right? We're just in time delivery service. Well, if we don't have the delivery service that we need, we're going to run out of toilet paper. Our clients are going to run out of toilet paper. That's never a good day for anybody, right? So, you know, I know that seems silly, but it's ISSA's got your back on making sure you know about these key informational news items that affect your business.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, I saw that as well. And I thought all it takes is the one strike or one issue to cripple an industry. And we need to be aware of those things. And the
Absolutely.
networking is important. And ISSA has a program for everybody from Hygia to
Excellent.
education, charities, advocacy. And I need to get you on a webinar one day. So be ready for that invitation.
Of course, Jeff, I would love to. It would be my pleasure.
My last question is anything exciting coming up for you or your company that you'd like to share?
Oh, that is a really, really great question. Um, there's so much tech-wise that's going on in the world right now. Every single week it changes. Um, I'm actually going to a class at MIT in September. It talks about AI and how to embrace it. So, that's going to be a whole nother beast. But just how sensors are coming in, smart cleaning's coming in, IoT, um, the data-driven tech, right? FDS will be such a big part of this. It will really help unlock the information that buildings hold and get that information to the right people. So there's the transparency with our employees and the building managers to understand how each others are working together in collaboration. Beyond that, um, I just feel so happy that we're making a difference, creating a healthier work environment, a healthier work building, right? We're reducing our footprint, our sustainability, our carbon footprint. We're making our clients' lives easier, making our employees' lives more successful. That's what I'm so grateful for. If I can say I made a difference in the world, I'm going to be living a very happy life and I will feel very grateful and I'll have a lot of gratitude that I've done what I'm supposed to be doing in this life. So that's what I'm excited for. It's just the future and what it will bring, all the opportunities for our employees, our clients, our buildings. I think the spotlight's going to be on us for a little bit longer, and people really know how important we are in everyday lives, and that makes me so happy.